Tonight on the Mike Tomlin Show, the Steelers' Week 4 game is postponed. We discuss how the Steelers got to 3-0 and show you the best sights and sounds from the team's last win at Heinz Field. The Mike Tomlin Show starts right now.
Here we go. This pass is caught and that's a touchdown. That's the way to work. Come on. He's hit that sack. The Steelers win the football game. Let's go. Come get it. You know what it is.
This one is in the history books.
Here we go.
The Mike Tomlin Show is presented by 84 Lumber.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Mike Tomlin Show presented by 84 Lumber. I am Missi Matthews here with Bob Pompeani, and what a week it has been for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Tennessee Titans, the National Football League. Of course, Coach Tomlin not joining us this week. Bob, there is not a game to preview, which seems weird to say. The Steelers really had that momentum going 3-0, but the league had to make a lot of tough decisions, and they decided the Steelers and Titans could not play on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, so the next opponent for the Steelers is the Philadelphia Eagles.
And Missi, came down to testing, really. They were kept pushing it back, hoping that the tests would stop becoming positive, and day by day there were more. So I think they made the right choice here, although it is difficult if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers because you're on a roll. You know, 3 wins, no losses. Had an opportunity to make that a longer win streak. It would have been an interesting matchup right off the bat with the Titans, but obviously that's not happening. But I think the league did the right thing. They can't afford to take this lightly because the spread of it is so serious. We saw it in baseball. Baseball learned a lesson, I thought. When the Marlins, when the Cardinals both were shut down for a lot of time, I think that sent a message to the rest of the league that, hey, this is serious, and if you don't take care of business at all, you're going to end up in the same situation. So I think ever since then, there haven't been any tests positive, so they clamped down, and maybe this, hopefully, will have the same effect.
Absolutely. And for the Steelers, you know, they started preparing on Wednesday when the team returned to the practice fields, and Ben Roethlisberger said, you know, we're hoping it's Sunday, then we're hoping it's Monday. So the Steelers did put some work in to face the Titans, what should have been their Week 4 opponent. Now, the Steelers were at the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex on Thursday, and that is the latest that we heard from Coach Tomlin. So let's take a listen about what his vibe was and what he was telling the team about heading into a weekend off.
You know, I'm disappointed because we were preparing to play and we're not getting an opportunity to. But we understand the nature of this environment we're in 2020, and so we're just adjusting accordingly. But there's disappointment, no question. We've worked extremely hard at the beginning portion of this week in preparation for what we thought was an opportunity versus an undefeated team in their venue. And so you lean in on those opportunities. And so we're not getting the opportunity to do that. Instead, we're getting a bye week. So we're going to make the best of that. We have every intentions of getting appropriate rest and taking care of those that need to be mended in any way. And more than anything, just, you know, kicking back and gaining a little bit of perspective in terms of watching others work. And we'll come in the beginning of the next week and lean in on Philadelphia.
I liked what Coach Tomlin said there, Bob, because it is true. There is some disappointment in it. You are on a roll, as we said. They were 3-0 teams that were going to be facing each other. And I'm sure for the Titans, too, you know, you're now forced with being at home. They thought and were hoping the test would come back negative so they could return to practice. It was going to be a weird week in general, but unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be the last time this could possibly happen during a 16-game season.
Well, we hope it is, certainly. You don't want to go through this, so much juggling. But the one thing I do think, Missi, is that you really respect a guy like Mike Tomlin. You can have your differences with him when it comes to clock management or, you know, losing games to teams you're supposed to beat, all that stuff. But it happens to every NFL team. In moments like this, you really see what Mike Tomlin's all about. He's a leader. He doesn't make excuses. He just said, we're going to deal with it. And I think that's all you can do. You can control the controllables, as he likes to say. And when you do that, you have a better chance of moving forward and not losing some of the stuff you had in the first 3 weeks.
He was simply asked, okay, now you're going to have 13 games in a row. And he just said, we don't care.
Yeah, but a lot of people do care. And I think when you think about it, if that does play out, you're going to have 3 straight road games against teams, Tennessee, Baltimore, and Dallas, all on the road. And, I mean, he's not going to make excuses, but I think there are people out there who say, well, then the Ravens get a bye week before the head-to-head matchup with the Steelers, if this happens. You know, not the best competitive situation to be in, but the best way to approach it is how he's approaching it.
Well, and as you said, the juggling, looking at the Steelers' schedule, their bye week was supposed to be week 8. The Ravens would have to switch their schedule around a little bit. Now you're juggling 3 different teams' schedules. The Titans was week 7, so you would think it would go there. But like you said, Baltimore, Tennessee, Dallas, you're home against Cincinnati, then you're at Jacksonville. So you're reaching that point of the Steelers' schedule where back in April when this schedule came out, you were saying, okay, that's going to be the tough part. We like the beginning, but that tough part, and even it's going to be different for the Steelers now. You have some time off, but then you have another home game. So this would be 4 straight home games for the Steelers, which is something unheard of, and hopefully there's fans there on that October 11th
Well,
game
that's the
too.
other thing you'd like to see. But, from the league-wide point of view, though, Missi, I think it's important that they control this, and hopefully the message is out there and it resonates with every other team that whatever it is, and I'm not sure how this came to be. It could have been accidental. It could have been self-inflicted in that Tennessee players might have done something they shouldn't have done. Whatever it is, you better take it seriously. I thought Tomlin at the beginning of the training camp said it best. One fail, all fail. And you're all in this together if you've heard that enough, but it's very true in this situation.
All right, Bob, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up next, we have the best sights and sounds from the Steelers' 28-21 win over the Texans. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Mike Tomlin Show, everybody. Missi Matthews here with Bob Pompeani, and we do want to talk about the Steelers being 3-0, Bob, and the fact that they came back from a double-digit deficit against the Houston Texans, but they got the win. And something cool that you've been helping us out with is voicing and narrating sights and sounds. What's your biggest takeaway from that Steelers win, which feels like it was weeks ago?
It does, doesn't it? My biggest takeaway, Missi, would be adjustments. Halftime, things changed dramatically. When Deshaun Watson was beating up the Steelers in the first half down the field, they strategized and changed that a little bit, and it more contained him. I don't think they blitzed as much, and as a result, they were able to keep them off the field. And I also think ball possession on offense. Whenever you dominate ball possession, you make it easier on your defense. We saw both of those in the second half.
Best defense is a good offense,
Absolutely.
Right? All right, as we promised, here is this week's sights and sounds of the Steelers' win over the Texans.
Roughly 300 miles across the state lies the city of brotherly love. But for one Sunday out of the year, Pittsburgh will be borrowing that title. Family is the foundation of the Steelers organization. That's why it's fitting that they have hosted the historic family reunions of the Edmonds and now the Watts. Whether it's the number of siblings on the field, the amount of wins the Steelers are hoping to start the season with, or the total losses the Texans are trying to avoid, the number 3 seems to be on the mind of everyone.
We got to take a step today, man. We got to take a step. We got to take that next step.
The next step for the Steelers and Texans is a game they will never forget.
I love you, bro. Let's go.
A battle of the brothers.
Good luck, brother. Come on, bro. I love you.
Gets the snap. He's back. Pass thrown to the flat and wide open, running with the football. Juju Smith-Schuster. Connor off the right side, finds a gap. Angles to the far sideline. Shakes a tackler up over the 40, the 45. And he's got another first down.
With his record-setting 221st game in the black and gold, Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers would open up the scoring on their first drive of the game.
Kick is on its way. It's right down Broadway, and the Steelers draw first blood with a field goal drive.
It wouldn't take long for the Texans and Deshaun Watson to get on the board themselves and keep adding.
Check down across the middle, and the pass complete for more than enough to the first down. Throws the pass, and it is caught at the 10, at the 5, into the end zone. Steps up in the pocket, has time. Throws the pass, and it's complete inside the Pittsburgh 15. Handoff off the right side, and walking into the end zone is David Johnson. Now it's getting serious for the Steelers because they're down in a double-digit hole.
Well, it to me appears, fellas, we got to get something going on this drive here.
You got to have a long drive with points.
And the run by McFarland shows that speed up over the 30 to 35. First down to the 40, a 20-yard run by Anthony McFarland, the rookie out of Maryland. And the pass is pulled in, and that is Vance McDonald shedding a tackler, taking on another.
Looking for blockers. Connor sidesteps. Connor hard running to the 33 for James Conner.
The Steelers on the march, trailing 14-3. Double slot right. He's going to throw it for the end zone, and the pass is caught for a touchdown. What a grab by Eric Ebron. Took it away from the defender and scored. Man, that is a big play in this football game.
He is a touchdown maker.
They wanted the red zone productions from him.
Yeah.
This is what they were looking for, Julius.
He avoids the rush. At least the first time, not the second time. 3 Steelers come firing through. Watt was there, Dupree was there, and so was Hilton with that pressure.
They should get the ball back after this exchange in good field position for an offense that just scored.
This pass is complete and running to the far sideline with good speed, James Conner. And it is pulled in, and that's enough for the first down for Pittsburgh. And he hits a wide open man at the 20, the 15, the 10, and walking to the end zone is Juju Smith-Schuster for the Pittsburgh Steelers go-ahead touchdown. Nobody was near him.
Somebody went down, somebody blew a coverage there, but he was wide open.
He's back. He does throw a timing pattern for the goal line, and it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Will Fuller the 5th. That's the end of the second quarter with a score, Houston 21, Pittsburgh 17.
With the deficit only being 4 points, the Steelers started to chip away at the Texans' lead.
McFarland turns the corner on the Jets, up over the 35 and to the 40-yard line. Little check down pass, and that is McFarland running upfield, shakes the tackler up over the 50-yard line.
Great hands by Washington.
Look at him trying to hot-foot it away. Throws a straight arm into the face of Whitney Merciless.
The kick is up and through the uprights, and the Steelers are a point shy of the Texans.
In the first half, the Steelers' defense seemed to have no answers for Watson and the Texans.
Let's go. All in on 3. 1, 2, 3. All in.
The second half proved to be very different.
They bring 4. And he's hit in the pocket and sacked in the pocket by Stephon Tuitt.
Now we got him to it. Now we can do whatever we want.
Cam Hayward ran through Max Sharping and made the tackle.
The defense would give up just 8 yards on the ground. 5 completed passes. And no points for the rest of this game.
I gotta turn this rush up.
Rush coming, and good night, T.J. Watt.
And he gets right in there. And a big loss there.
Now we need to take away.
Yeah.
Steps up in the pocket. Now he wants to run. Now he's flushed out right. Rolling, throws it against his body. It's intercepted. Mike Hilton has the ball at the 20-yard line.
I keep telling you, he is the best slot corner in the NFL.
I believe you.
Steelers have now forced a turnover in 9 straight games.
Steelers trailing by 1. Would love to sustain a drive right here. He's got delayed blitz. He fires a pass. It's pulled in by Eric Ebron. Finds a crack, still on his feet, up over the 45. Conner finds the edge behind McDonald. Good gain on the play. Then with a play-action fake, rolls right, throws against his body. Vance has it, takes on a defender. First down and more.
Fumbling, rumbling, stumbling.
That's the Vanimal.
Feeds Conner, gets a block on the flank, inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown, James Conner.
That was a drive. But yeah, we're going to talk about the stars. We're going to talk about Big Ben. Put that one on the offensive line. They took over in that drive.
Steelers are going to go for 2. Play action fake. Juju in the end zone with a quick post from that double slot formation, and that's a 2-point conversion. The Steelers have gained momentum in this crazy football game.
This is it.
Yeah.
This, you can take the heart right out of the Texans right now.
Off the left side, James Conner on his way, 40, 45, 50, and he takes people out of bounds with him into Texans territory. A quick pop, and that is Chase Claypool taking on tacklers inside the 10 at the 1-yard line.
You've got to love the Mapletron, the Canadian Megatron, going after it on a one-on-one quick throw.
He's so strong.
Oh, man.
There's the knee, and that's the ball game.
Congratulations on the Brother Bowl.
The Steelers come back and outscore the Texans 25-7 after falling down 14-3. The Pittsburgh Steelers remain undefeated, 3-0, with a 28-21 win over the Houston Texans.
There's still more to come on the Mike Tomlin Show. Bob and I discuss how the Steelers got to 3-0, and you don't want to miss T.J. and J.J. Watt mic'd up during the Brother Bowl. We'll be right back.
The Mike Tomlin Show is presented by 84 Lumber. Are you 84 Lumber material? Visit 84lumber.com/careers to learn more.
Welcome back to the Mike Tomlin Show, presented by 84 Lumber. I am Missi Matthews with Bob Pompeani. We just saw the sights and sounds, but Bob, I think too, the Steelers just as a whole through the first 3 games, a 100-yard rusher in each game. And we can talk about the defense too, but I think in terms of Ben Roethlisberger coming back, they got Dave DeCastro back. This is a good sign for this offense gelling and trying to take that next step.
And when you see David DeCastro, you know how good he is at pulling guard. And Matt Filer has shown the ability to do that as well, Missy, and I think that's important because now you have 2 guys capable of doing it, and on plays where they pool, you're going to see averages that are 5 to 7 yards a carry. I think that's very important. This is a run game that needs that sort of stuff, athletic guards who can make that happen, and I think the Steelers are going to play more to that, get those guys moving, create openings, and big rushing totals. Benny Snell had 1, James Conner had 2. I think it's so important for James Conner to get off to this kind of start, given all the doubters that were out there about whether or not he could stay healthy. When he is healthy, he makes a big difference in that run game.
I think in terms of the Steelers defense, looking forward to playing the Titans, 2 3-0 teams, but a chance for the defense to have a very good test for them. I'm not saying anything against the Giants and the Texans in the first few games, but I do think that, 15 sacks over 3 games, how are they going to be able to contain Derrick Henry? There was a lot riding on that, but what have you seen from this defense that is showing you that they are taking a step from 2019?
Well, obviously it's the pressure. You saw more pressure last year, and I think we've seen in the last 5 years, and now this year they're on pace to go over 128 pressures, quarterback pressures. Whenever you do that, especially to quarterbacks who are not named, maybe Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes, you can have success, and that pressure makes their secondary better. I think in the second half against the Texans, they also saw that, boy, if we don't get to him, we're going to leave a lot of one-on-one opportunities, and I think he exploited that in the first half, did Deshaun Watson. But I think this team is really in good position. This defense, the one thing it will do is limit the amount of points scored. So with Ben Roethlisberger healthy and back, I think that combination of them scoring more than 20 a game, which I think they can expect from an offense, and the defense preventing maybe 14 to 17, that's a recipe for success.
Another underrated thing that I liked against the Texans, the Steelers, obviously the game before 10 penalties. Coach Tomlin said, no thanks, we're bringing the officials in however we need to have them there to help with pointers. Do you see that maybe just being something easy to clean up because the officials came in, it was a point of emphasis, or do you think because it was the preseason, it was maybe just a little mental too?
I think it's a combination of both, Missy, I do, and I think it just takes time to work that stuff out. I think the Steelers are fairly disciplined. Some of these calls I thought were ticky-tacky, but then again, I always think that in the secondary. Thank goodness we don't have that pass interference rule anymore, because some of these, although some may have changed in the Steelers' favor, but I think they're pretty good at what they do. I think Mike Hilton has been outstanding. That's the one guy when you talk about overall, you talk about T.J. Watt, you talk about Dupree, you talk about Minka. Mike Hilton is putting himself in a pretty nice position for himself financially moving forward, because he may be one of the best slot guys in the game right now. He's making plays. He's tremendous against the running game, and he's not that big of a guy, but he's very smart, and it shows.
I'll throw Vince Williams in there as one of those guys that, leading the league in tackles for loss and just really coming into his own this season and not being one of the big name guys that we always talk about the Steelers.
Which puts a premium on health. Like every NFL team in the salary cap era, you better have depth. And, that's the one position, if you get hard with injury, you're not sure exactly what you have inside there. So I think it's important that they continue to be healthy, play well, and if so, I think this team is in for, my prediction before the season was 12-4, and I think that's realistic. And they will compete with Baltimore all the way through and through.
All right, we have much more coming up on the Mike Tomlin Show. Don't go anywhere.
The Mike Tomlin Show is presented by 84 Lumber.
I love you, bro. Let's go. Shoes untied. Good luck, brother. Good luck, bro. I love you. Another day to show we're the best in the world, man. We are living the dream. Where else would you rather be? 90's gonna have, he hits the quarterback too low, too high. Just call it all day.
3 Steelers come firing through. Watt was there. Dupree was there.
You stink!
Pocket collapses, and Roethlisberger goes down.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go! 90's offside. Way offside.
Coming right at him. Little toss there. And T.J. Watt on the spot.
Man, how much help y'all need over here? Holy, are you kidding me?
They held my brother here.
Are you kidding me? What are you watching? Nice try.
Connor comes up short of the first down by a yard. J.J. Watt helped make sure of it.
Come on.
I gotta turn this rush up.
And good night, T.J. Watt gets to the quarterback.
This is weird. This whole game? No, it's just dead silence. You can hear the blimp. That's how quiet it is. You sound like somebody's flying over. Yeah. That's what it's doing.
The Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Texans 28-21.
Congratulations on the Brother Bowl, baby.
He's gonna hear about this one for quite some time. I'll take the bragging rights though.
Bob, I could watch JJ and TJ mic'd up all day. You could tell they took the game serious, but also some brother love.
There's no question about that, and they become very much commercially involved in all the ads that you see, and they're just, I think they have a nice relationship, all of them. They work hard. Good to see them on the field at the same time. It's funny how this has worked in back-to-back years with the Edmonds and now the Watts, all right here at Heinz Field.
Absolutely. Only the second time for both of those groups since 1927. I know TJ, Derek, JJ, everybody wanted the mom and dad, the parents to be here. Unfortunately, they weren't, but they did get that picture at the end that I'm sure Mama Watt has framed in her house right now.
There's no question. Proud of all three boys, and all three in the NFL. It's pretty hard to do that. And you don't see many brother combinations come down, but that's cool to see.
All right, that is going to do it for this edition of the Mike Tomlin Show presented by 84 Lumber. Thanks for joining us this week. Mike Tomlin will be back with us next Saturday. We'll see you then.